Crown Produce secures produce locally and from around the world for Canadian retailers. Crown Produce is also proud to secure sponsorship of university football on Shaw. Crown Produce, supporting Canadian retailers and Canadian amateur football. Whether it's your first home, a refinance, or an investment property, Kia Grant & Associates can find a mortgage solution for you. In association with Verico Paragon, the work she does for you is free. Find her on Facebook at Kia Grant Mortgages. This is Ryan and Andrew. They host Countdown U Pregame. This is Jesse, Lawrence, and David. They bring the color. And these are the guys that we cover.
Crown Produce Canada West football is live on Shaw. Tune in Saturday, October 19th when the Alberta Golden Bears roar into Vancouver to battle it out with the UBC Thunderbirds. Crown Produce Canada West football, only on Shaw.
Every week, every angle, every team.
Welcome to another edition of Touchdown BC. I'm Andrew Wadden. Of course, I am joined each and every week by the lovely and talented Ryan Sullivan. And by lovely and talented, I mean not lovely and not very talented. But there was some fantastic football going down this weekend in BC high school football. And Ryan, I heard the Jugglers were going for the jugular against Handsworth.
I like what you did there, Andrew. That's exactly what happened, and it all went down at the beautiful shores of Burnaby Lake.
Oh, what beautiful shores you have, Burnaby Lake. A very nice night for football in the Burn. Handsworth facing Notre Dame. Jugglers get greedy on the opening kickoff. They give a short squibber, and boom! They pick it up and bring their offense on the field first. Very first play from scrimmage is in the hands of Paulo Dubé. He finds the edge and takes it all the way down to the Royal 2, where he finishes what he started. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Jugglers go for 2 in a row, and boom, there it is. 2 onside squibbers results in 2 possessions. This time around, Notre Dame doesn't get what they're looking for, though. They find a white jersey, it's picked. However, Handsworth could not capitalize on the ensuing possession. 2 series later, Mike Lemoyne finds Dylan Whale, and he's gone. Handsworth is on the board, and thanks to the missed convert from Notre Dame, the 7-6 lead belongs to them. The Jugglers go to the air heading north though, and Theodore Landers finds Jordan Gabriel. He brings it down inbounds. Notre Dame is in the red zone. Then it's who else? Paulo Dubé driving it home. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Lemoyne heading south for Handsworth finds Damian Starnes for a nice chunk of yardage up the middle. Eli Matzel then gets the nod from Lemoyne, and he makes a few moves, shakes a few tackles, hops into the end zone. It's a tie ball game heading for halftime when, on the kick return, Aldrich Barrios takes the squib kick. He finds a hole. Barrios goes over to the sideline. Then he looks back to the middle. He's going to head over there. He takes it all the way to the house. One heck of a return. The Notre Dame fans come to their feet, but we've got laundry on the field. A questionable call. It comes all the way back. No touchdown. We have a tie ball game at the half. Second half, Lemoyne is picked by Jordan Gabriel. Now watch this run back. He goes one way. He goes the other way. He goes another way. He switches gears. He shakes it up. Gabriel finding open holes with a great and very entertaining run back. However, once again, laundry on the field. So, very next play, Alex Moon takes the handoff. That's a touchdown for the folks from North Vancouver. The Royals take the 28-22 win in Burnaby.
Mount Douglas visiting Vancouver College. Ashton McKinnon with a quick handoff from the 3 to Julian Lewis, and you can put it on the board. Touchdown! The best name in high school football, Ovi Ojegba, now with the scamper for the purple. He breaks it to the outside. That's a pickup of 22. The drive would result in nothing, though. But it was a good-looking run. Back the other way, McKinnon finds Say Farinu from 25 out, it's 21 bagel Mount Dougie. However, VC was not out of it. Manveer Kun takes the Geordie Belfiore pass for 6. That's soon to be 7. So the Irish are on the board and keep it coming. Marcus Davis, though, from 30 out, puts this game out of reach. He takes this one through the gut. A little juke, a little jive, and that's points on the board for MTD. VC would add one more clip to the highlight reel. Kun. Unfortunately for the Irish, though, 43-21 your final for Mount Douglas.
West Vancouver visiting New Westminster. Here we go from Mercer Stadium. Tommy Robertson with the QB keep. Takes it for a nice chunk of change, and New West is pressing early. Robertson then calls his own number again and put it on the board. That is 6, soon to be 7. New West takes the lead. Angelo Tenwakio then takes the rock for a huge run down the left side. He darts it deep into the West Van red zone, and once again, the Hayaks are pressing for points. Tommy Robertson then puts on his Elway pants, tries to jump over the roof. That's another TD on the board. Now, romaine is delicious, but kale is the new Caesar. Who are we kidding? Kale Brock takes the rock down the sideline. Another nice pickup for the Hayaks. Robertson off play action, then keeps, and he finds Tristan Sands in the red zone. It was all New West all night long. Credit Lionel Richie. Julian Ramirez finishes the drive off. New West with an easy 27-6 win.
Lord Tweedsmuir in St. Thomas More's backyard. Jamal Lyles had a huge game for the green and white. Caps off a drive here. That made it 21 to bagel. STM getting desperate, pulls a direct snap, fake punt. However, that failed miserably. They get the ball back, and that's an interception right there. Malcolm Lee would try his luck at quarterback in the Wildcat. He had a few decent drives, including this, his longest run of the day. That was about all STM fans could cheer for. Well, that and this. Look at that little pooch chewing on his leash. Isn't that adorable? Tweedsmuir wins 21-0. Here's a look at the rest of your AAA scoreboard. Let's take a look now at the AAA standings heading into Thanksgiving weekend. Quick glance at the AA board. And here are your AA standings. Vancouver Midget football time. Here's a look at your latest scores. And here's your VMFL standing board.
Like, oh my God, the Langley Rams are like totally in the valley to play the Huskers this weekend. Oh my God.
Let's head out to the WAC, shall we? Cody Vinish with the grab in his own red zone. Then the ball comes loose, bounces off a foot, and boom! Langley has a touchdown. Not the best start for the hometown Huskers. Huskers with a little foolery coming up. They punt away, but check out Jenner Barth. He lines up behind the punter, and just like they drew it up, he takes it off the bounce and to the house. However, there was a flag down for no yards, meaning, well, no touchdown. Back the other way, Langley pressing again from midfield. Take a look at this run. He takes the handoff through the middle and finds the outside. A nice little block here, a nice little block there. Langley with another 7 on the board. That's one of 3 touchdowns on the day for Nathan Lund. Evan Foster then gets in on the act. He picks up this little shovel pass for what could possibly be the easiest interception in history of football. The history. Entire thing. Foster takes this one all the way back. Langley extends their lead, and they don't look back. Huskers would add one more. Blake Draper with a catch and run. This one is done though. Langley, 59, Valley. Oh my God, 24.
Vancouver Island Raiders hosting the West Shore Rebels. A quick pass over the middle here, complete to Marshall Cook. Gets some air, gets dumped by the Porta Johns. Go figure. Jaden Marwick then hits Whitman to Muziak in the end zone. VI Raiders starting to take off. Marwick then hits Alex Thompson. Is anyone going to cover him? Wide open, no problem. Put another 7 on the scoreboard. Rebels punting when they bring in Duncan O'Mani for the boot. Nobody remembers 2005? All right, no problem. It's a brutal punt. Dustin Rodriguez out of Parksville, BC, takes the rock. He finds the hole. He is gone. An easy run back for D-Rod. 90 yards, and the Nanaimo kids take the easy 71-0 win. All right, let's take a look now at your junior standings board. Vancouver Island Raiders tied with the Okanagan Sun, the best pants in football. 8-2 are the records there. Langley Rams 7-3, they're still in the picture. Kamloops Valley tied at 2-7-1, and the West Shore Rebels officially at the bottom of the barrel at 2-8. Manitoba Bisons hosting UBC. Carson Williams hitting David Scott here from 27 yards out. Touchdown UBC, they lead 18-3. Manitoba would come back, and on their final play with a chance at the win, Anthony Coombs has the ball smacked from his hands by Riley Jones. He was jonesing for some smack. UBC wins 28-24. The man on the day for the British Columbians, David Scott, 170 yards receiving and 1 touchdown on 7 grabs. For Manitoba, Jordan Yance, not a great day, 14 of 30, 194 yards, just the 1 touchdown. All right, let's take a look now at your Canada West standings board. Calgary still atop the table, undefeated, 6-0 on the year. Saskatchewan 4-2, they're in second place. Manitoba tied with UBC now, 3-3, 500 record. Regina 2-4. Alberta dead last at 0-6.
SFU at Dixie State. In front of a crowd of just over 2,600, SFU dropped their second contest of the year. Mitchell rushed in through for 193 yards and 1 major for the Clan, while Griff Rubles went 13 of 27 for 251 in the air and 4 touchdowns. SFU takes on first place Azusa Pacific this weekend. Now let's take a look at that NCAA Division II GNAC standings.
So Ryan, that was like totally an amazing set of highlights that we just did there, right?
That was incredible. That was the on cam was obviously the best part. People didn't know you were wearing Spanx before, but after that, it's pretty clear.
I look pretty damn good in those Spanx, if I do say so myself.
You got to tighten up.
Hey, got to get that butt tight.
Okay. With that, we're gonna join Jim and Dino next.
Butt tight.
This is Ryan and Andrew. They host Countdown U pregame. This is Jesse, Lawrence, and David. They bring the color. And these are the guys that we cover.
Crown Produce Canada West football is live on Shaw. Tune in Saturday, October 19th when the Alberta Golden Bears roar into Vancouver to battle it out with the UBC Thunderbirds. Crown Produce Canada West football, only on Shaw.
Every week, every angle, every team. We now continue with the warm-up portion of our series on proper tackling techniques. What is this second portion of warm-up all about, Dino?
Once the body's warmed up with some of those movements, getting all the joints, tendons, ligaments, they're all warmed up, then we really want to get in position to stretch them a little bit. And it's a dynamic stretch, it's movement stretch, it's all specific to the sport movements that we're going to be doing, and we're able to watch the players prepare for those highly explosive fundamentals that they'll be able to execute.
Well, let's start with the older guys, and then we'll follow it up with the younger guys.
Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, right across here again. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to come out knee to chest. Okay, knee to chest as you're walking forward. Okay, alternating each leg. Okay, ready and go. Knee to chest. Make sure we do not lean back in this. We want to lean into the knee and make sure that we get a good glute stretch, okay, through the hamstrings. The other thing we're going to emphasize is a dorsiflexion. So knee up, toe up, okay, so that we don't have a lazy foot laying behind. Excellent. Good. To continue with that, we're going to come out now, and opposite arm is going to pull it across. Opposite arm is going to pull it across the body. Ready? And go. Good. Again, we want that dorsiflexion, which is knee up, toe up. Okay? And we want to make sure that those hips are getting nice and stretched across the body in a movement manner. Good. Next we're going to do is we're going to walk forward, and I've got hurdles here for you guys. You see those hurdles? And all you're going to do is walk over those hurdles with high knees and rolling the hips over top of those hurdles, each one that you do. Ready? And go. And you can do this, we're going to just walk through it today, but you can do this at a little bit heavier pace once your players are more comfortable with it. But they're nice, and they're rotating the hips. Good. When they get to the line, they're going to come back facing the same way, and they're going to go backwards over those same hurdles. Ready? And go. Again, we're walking through it today, but you can increase the pace as your players get more and more comfortable with these movements. Good job. We always want to emphasize the eyes up, the chest up, all those proper techniques, the dorsiflexion, and a good rotation through the hip. Excellent. The next one we're going to do is we're just going to get the hamstrings, and I want you walking forward, touching the instep each time, and I want to rotate the torso. So we're going to go opposite, opposite as you're walking to the line. Ready? And go. Good. So we're warming up the hamstrings with the touch, but we're also getting a little bit of a torso swing. So it's helping to make sure that we warm up that midsection of the body, which is so crucial to our core and executing those fundamentals. Good. Pointing the toe up and getting a good stretch down. Good. After we do that, you'll notice that we just increase the tempo a little bit with each of these exercises. As you come, you're going to do the leg swings, opposite, opposite. So your right leg will swing to your left hand as you come forward. Ready? And go. Good. Excellent. And they want to get a good swing through the hip. Get at least back up to your eye level. Good. And especially at the young ages, we want to emphasize that again. And this time I don't want you to take any steps before taking another swing. Okay, ready? And go. There you go. There we go. We got lots of reps there. Every step is a kick. Every step is a kick. Good. And we're going to ask the young guys to take over just for a couple of these last ones. What we're going to do is we're going to do a high knee into a lunge. So you're going to go high knee and lunge it. Okay? Now we want 90 degrees in both legs as we do the lunge. That's ideally what we're looking for. Okay? And we want our chest up. And what I want to emphasize initially is proper running technique. So our opposite arm and opposite leg. Ready? And go. Good. Excellent. Again, dorsiflexion should be heel to toe contact as we're walking forward. Good. And coming back. Turning around, we're going to grab our quad and we're going to kick our leg through. Okay, and we're going to stop it right before we kick a soccer ball or kick a ball. Okay, so here we go. Quad stretch, ready, and go. Good, and walking forward as we do that. Good, we want to make sure that our chest is up. We want to make sure that there's good balance on the one leg and a good pull back. When they get halfway through, all I want you to do is kick your butt, okay, all the way through, ready, and go with a faster tempo. And I'm going to ask all you guys to come forward, and we're going to do the one, probably the most important one. We're just going to stretch the neck and shoulders as you walk forward, and just listen to my command as you walk forward, and I want you rolling your arms forward, okay, ready, and go. Nice and easy, nice and slow, looking up at the sky. All the way up at the sky, looking down at the ground. We're loosening up the necks now, looking over your right shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. Ear down to the right. Ear down to the left. Good, and walking back and rolling the arms back, facing me, and rolling the arms back. Good, and same thing, eyes to the sky, down to the ground, over your right shoulder, over your left shoulder, ear down to the right, ear down to the left. Good, now we have totally warmed up that full area around the neck and shoulders, which is so crucial to the contact in football, because those are the areas that will make initial contact and will prevent any type of injury in that upper body.
Dino, you really can't have one without the other, though. We have two sections on this warm-up. Maybe you can review what we did in the previous section and this section if you haven't caught it on video.
So first in the warm-up, we want to make sure that we get the players doing multi-movements. So that was the running, the back pedal, the shuffling, so that all the joints, muscles, tendons are warmed up. And then we go into the dynamic stretch, where we hit every part of the body with an emphasis on the hips, and finishing up with the shoulders and neck, which is so crucial to the contact in football.
And you can catch this entire series on proper tackling technique and all those things that support it at playfootball.bc.ca.
Okay, here we are moving on with defensive line, and we have Mr. Ray Moon, head coach of the South Delta football team in BC here, and defensive line coach for Team BC. Also was named Orange Helmet Scholastic Coach of the Year this year, 2013, and he's going to talk a little bit about drills for the defensive line. You have one drill, your first drill. What's that going to consist of?
Well, our first drill, we're going to look at getting the players to fire off as fast as they can under control, and then what we're going to do is have them change direction as if the ball is going one way or another to see whether they can break and get themselves into an angle of pursuit so that they can help track down the ball carrier.
Excellent. And we're going to progress from there into a second drill. And what's that one going to be?
Well, one of our drills is we're looking at reads. We're going to have the lineman line up across from a partner, and then we're going to do a shoulder read. So when the lineman, offensive lineman turns his shoulder one way or another, it will indicate what a possible block is coming, like a reach block or a down block, pass, slow block, or just a drive block, and to see if they can react. Because what we want is to have the defensive lineman read the offensive lineman and not be staring in the backfield.
Excellent. And we're going to move on to a third drill with the defensive line. And that last drill today?
We call it figure eight with a rabbit. So we've got two loops with one of the D linemen approximately 2.5 yards in front. So we ask for the two of them to fire off going around loops. The idea of going around loops is so that they drop their shoulders. So if we're going into a stunt or a blitz trying to get into another gap, we're trying to get under the offensive lineman. The idea of the rabbit is so that they can have an understanding of urgency of moving and trying to catch the guy. A little bit of a game, I guess you could.
Competitive.
Yeah,
excellent.
So they can get around and go, and the kids kind of enjoy that one.
Awesome.
Okay. So remember, we're getting off, movement of the foot, movement of the foot. Ready, set, hut, hut.
Okay, is the key thing here, Dino, these guys staying low out of their burst?
Yeah, exactly. Getting comfortable in their stance and being able to explode out of their stance. Yeah, exactly. And then the added component of just changing direction after they make their initial penetration.
I guess the one thing that you don't want to see is guys immediately standing up as they're coming out of the stance, and we've seen that in a couple of cases here.
Yes, so exactly. We want them to stay low because the offensive lineman is going to be inches to contact, so we want to make sure they're making contact with leverage. and they're not raising their pad level.
Is there any difference on the defensive side of the ball between training your guys for Canadian ball versus American ball with the yard off the ball?
It's more a matter of getting used to, but really the drill is good no matter which D-line you're working with. They're going to work on get-off, they're going to work on pad level, they're going to work on change of direction. So regardless of the defensive line, they're still going to work these fundamentals.
Okay, relax for a second, guys. Different hand. Let's work if you were a right-hand stance. Okay, now we're going to go to a left-hand stance, okay?
Studying opponents that
okay, everybody good?
But with these basic fundamentals,
ready.
You want defensive linemen to get it off.
Oh, we're standing up, all of us. We change hands, all of a sudden we're standing up.
You hear Coach Moon talking about standing up. How can you train players out of standing up, especially after doing a number of reps at a drill like this?
Well, one of the things we don't have here today, but is a chute, which is very much like a cage. So we would put that right. They would stand right at one end of the chute and fire out through the chute. And if they stood up a little early, then they'd get their head hit by the iron bar that's in the chute. So we don't have a chute here today, but that's one way that we try to rep out the defensive line and making sure that they keep their pad level.
Spread up, pair up, somebody similar height and weight, In fact, one line here facing the field, the other line here facing the Richmond Center, the building. Okay, let's go, guys. Pair up. Spread it out, pair it up.
Okay, what fundamental are we trying to build on here?
Working from their stance again, keeping the eyes on the shoulder of the offensive lineman for an initial read so that they can react to the type of block they're going to be facing. Focus is getting hands on that shoulder of the offensive lineman, but really more inside his chest plate and making sure that we get off with power and leverage.
And once again, this is part of what would be a daily drill package, I would assume, for any coach at the minor level.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting your defensive linemen, reading those offensive linemen constantly, and you're really tapping into the muscle memory of the defensive lineman. And so it becomes, we're talking about read, but really by the time they get to the game, hopefully you've done it enough time that it is not as much a read as just a reaction.
I think a lot of people don't understand how important repetition is in this game at every position, but at the defense and offensive line positions, how important is repetition?
Repetition needs to be done. And again, it's tapping into that muscle memory because they're so fundamental. We're talking about big people trying to move each other and get their job done. So every little angle, their bend in the hip, their bend in their knees, ankles, elbows, their aiming points are so critical that you're not going to be able to develop the technique and the fundamental unless they are constantly repping it out, being corrected and feeling how it feels to aim properly and put their hands in the right place.
Figure eight, around, and through. Clear the area going through. Ready, set, hut. Dip that shoulder, come on, let's go.
Okay, explain this, because this actually puts, I hate to say this, the fun in fundamentals.
Yeah, it's, anytime you get, it's the game of tag, really, and anytime you introduce that element of competition, it adds a little bit more effort and building the defensive lineman's relentlessness.
I want you bellying way out as you're finishing. The idea is to drop the shoulder as if you're going in for, remember, we're going in for a stunt, we're turning around trying to, boom, come in, we're dipping that shoulder so we can come across. That's the idea, get this low, the lower the shoulder, the tighter you can make the turn. Ready, set, go.
It's taking the stance, you know, forcing them to come out with good explosiveness and keeping their feet moving, low body lean around the corners, making sure they're nice and low around the corners as they try to touch the player in front of them or grab the player in front of them.
Absolutely. You can do it in a square.